As you all know, you are all from the Isle of Albion. Albion lays east of here to the islands of 𝕬𝖃𝖍𝖗. And you have sailed here because you have heard rumors of treasure laying simply in tombs that have been left. Now you have since discovered that these tombs are guarded by things from the Underworld and people. And you have traveled to the city of 𝕬𝖃𝖍𝖗. And only 2 days have passed. Let's see. It is Beltane the First of Samrad. So 2 days have passed. And you are currently at the seven cat. What is it called again? Sorry. Here we go. You're at the seven-headed cat again, where you're planning the night before for your expedition back into the vault, where you do know there's treasure. So you've seen it. You left some of it. There are also things that have been left there and other people that seem to have taken an interest in it. So here you are at the seven-headed cat. And it is a stormy night of lightning and winds outside. Sorry if that blasts your eardrums out. I'll turn it down. And all of your companions perished. That at least that you recruited did not come here with you on the boat to 𝕬𝖃𝖍𝖗. And but there are still people here in armor with weapons. You've seen them about town, and so you think there are people here that you could hire. And it is the night before. And it seems like a night of mostly clear skies. This is a dry lightning, and it is fearsome. And the lightning crisscrosses sideways across the sky, and even within the tavern from outside the windows up above the 2- and 3-story buildings outside of this mostly stone city. You can actually see flashes from the windows. Are there any preparations that you would like to make before your expedition the next day? Roland.
Yeah, I think what I decided to do for Roland last time was look to see if there's any rumors or anything regarding like the factions or anything knows about like any outside forces like giant or something that we might need to be aware of on this island.
Sure. So for that, it is the day before. Where would you go to seek such rumors? I'll kind of describe what you can see around you just briefly again. This is the Street of Particular Pleasures, and that's where the Seven-Headed Cat is, the tavern that you've been at. Up here is a plaza, and you can see there decorative pottery manufactured locally. This place obviously prides itself on its wines, and wine is being sold everywhere here, and it's clearly a major source of trade that's being put on the docks and the boats. You also have the palace I described last time. It is a large structure with these statues, some of which have been ruined. And then there's other plazas. Let's see. This part of the town is where the coastal fort is, and the town barracks and what's called the arsenal. And they actually sell and trade weapons there. And there is a tower here that no one passes by. It's about 3 stories tall. 2 other things. Another plaza down here. This plaza, you can see in the stone walls that encircle this plaza, it looks like relief coming out of the stone that looks like hands that are making bargains, like stone hands that look like they're dropping stone coins into other stone hands below them and stuff like that. And they circle this plaza right here. And within it, you can see that there is a marketplace, and there are all kinds of stuff for sale. And there's a well in the middle of it, where people will regularly go and cast silver coins. And then lastly, here are the temples, where the droning of acolytes and monks go on continually day and night. Where would you go and seek these rumors?
So my guy's telling me to go to one of the plazas because if they're like selling wine and everything, and the rumors are for the docks, and I think what we discovered is that there were other parties like sailing like to the location. So I think like if we go to the plazas, find out like what they might know from the docks, or if there's anyone who like travels through here, he might know something. So just go ahead and get things started. I think just simpler, just go to like the closer plaza up ahead.
Very well. So I'll basically give you several hours before the evening that you can do this in. This all occurs the day before. Each time you visit a district, it's about 1 hour. Don't encounter anything. And yeah, so you go to this plaza here. There's a well in the center, but you don't see anyone that has dropped coins into it. There is what looks like a trade house. It goes up to a 1.5 floor up these steep wooden stairs. There's money changing hands and beautiful, elaborate, sometimes very large amphorae. I think if I remember that term correctly, and other kind of like pottery and decorative things that just circle this kind of money house. And you see a robed, they kind of like have like toga type things going on, robed figure that's directing the exchange of items and money and stuff. And there's all kinds of little pottery shops. It's obvious to you that the other pottery shops sell lesser wares. I think it's clear that you can see the sign on the money changing place. It actually has the symbol of a clay pot. It indicates that this is a guild master's hall, and that is what they specialize in here. Although there are other things that are for sale, you can buy any most common items here.
So I think, assuming like all this stuff is like places where it's stuff being sold from the docks, everything, I think I can just go to see if the guild master, see if they heard anything about if there's anyone like offloading unusual or like treasure that they may have been sailing around or something, like, or like any type of new visitors who may have been searching for something, maybe.
It is not an easy thing to get time and attention of the guild master, but you find that he's called Master Claudio Serra, and eventually you have a moment with him, and he sees that you're a foreigner from Albion. He says, "Ah, welcome to our city. Being that do you have a boat?" You do not.
No, we
No,
do.
but I know where we can get one.
Go ahead, Roland.
Well, no, we're not from the city, and actually, we were just kind of curious because while we were out adventuring, we did discover there were some other parties out on boats sailing around, and we think we may have encountered them during our adventures. We just want to know if this is anything we should be concerned ourselves with, or we could possibly get in a skirmish with someone. We just like to know who else might be out there that who also might be adventuring.
I see. So you're one of the cell swordsmen that the council has hired to come to our island republic. You can tell that he finds the idea distasteful. Now, roll a d3, and then let me check your reaction. And what is your charisma score?
My charisma is 12.
Okay, pretty good.
Unfortunately, it's not a D3 on the thing, so let me see if I can manually do it through here.
2. Okay. So, a couple of things happen. Describe Roland again while I look this up.
So just going off of the picture I got from him, he has a slight beard around his face. He does have short hair and mostly has covered up in the leather armor and has a hood on top of his face. So he's constantly armored everything, and he comes off as a generic cell sword. Yeah.
Okay. So, he appraises you for a moment, and he offers you a glass of wine. You can see that they are regularly in the evening. They pretty much drink wine continuously, if they can. So he offers you just a small goblet of wine.
Well, it'd be rude to refuse, and who's to say, just deny a drink from a friendly party? So I'll go ahead and accept the drink.
He drinks as well. He watches you as you drink, and he says, "What do you think of our grapes?"
Well, I can't say I'm a good wine taster myself, but these taste especially good, especially since I don't think I will taste as much as from my own island, but these taste good.
Yes. The wines of Eric Brawny are good to all tongues, I think. Not like those things that the rotten, chaos-infested, worm-infested vineyards of Thossum, where Thisium lay. To believe that part of the grape trade could be dominated by that city-state. Well, I'm pleased that you enjoy our wine, and I do hope that you'll take much of it back with you to Albion. He's a little tipsy, and so roll a d12. While you're doing that, he leans in. He says, "You know, to be honest with you, since you are a visitor and all, I will tell you, I would not buy any pottery from any of those stores. I know that people come from other islands, including from 𝕬𝖃𝖋𝖍𝖈, and they buy from those stores. But a wise traveler would know that those are not authentic."
I see. Thanks you for the tip. Okay.
Got a 12. Ooh. I'll get back to that.
Okay.
But he says, yes. He's just musing openly at this point. You've got an open tongue from the man. And he says, the real, authentic, Arakrabranian pottery, those of the empire before it fell, lay beneath the city, in the undercity. Priceless. And you know, if you find any pottery on your adventures, and it is from the times when the Empire was intact, I would pay handsomely for it.
Alright. I'll keep that in mind.
You know, I have heard all sorts of strange things about the Undercity. The road back when the city was conquered, the war road to the vault of 𝕬𝖋𝖍𝖗𝖗. I suppose that must be the place you speak of that you're going to. All along that road, it was a champion's, a triumphal arch, a pathway from his vaults, where he was ultimately buried, back to here to the city. I mean, of course, if you could actually find the vault of 𝕬𝖋𝖍𝖗𝖗 within, you would be the most wealthy anyone could imagine, if such a thing actually existed. But I did hear among a group of scholars that there are others buried in the vault that could also have things of interest. I heard that the Scholars Guild, after all, some of the greatest scholars of the Empire were buried there. I don't know what sort of things scholars would have on them, but their riches are kept with them. Presumably books and scrolls. Scholars are not that wealthy. He's gabbing. He's revealing everything. Yeah. So, you spend some time in the company of the Guildmaster Claudio Serra. I'm going to kind of go around the table and let people pick and kind of... So we got 4 people, so we'll do like 4 districts or less. You don't have to, but Finbar, where do you think after some time at the under the lightning lit skies of Eric Brania, what district do you suppose you all should try to find information from next?
Well, I assume that we're all privy to the information shared by good Sir Guildmaster here. I would figure that Roland would let us know what's the deal with that. I think as sort of a... So we're in like an Agora marketplace right now. I think I'd like to go visit the arsenal and see what we can drum up there.
Okay. Sure enough, barracks, towers, battlements, coastal sea defenses, and this is the most sturdy portion of that, facing to the northeast. Except that although the old defenses are strongest to the northeast, you find them most disused, and the majority of what the activity of military forces here seems to be to the southeast, where the stone defenses have not been laid. And let me roll for an encounter. You do not have one. Where would you go to seek information among the Guardian class of the Republic?
Yeah, I think... You know, I don't think that I feel lucky enough to get an audience with, like, the captain of the watch or anything like that. But is there, like, a quartermaster or lieutenant or something on sort of at a desk job that maybe we can go chat up?
Sure. There's a person that he... at the arsenal, as I mentioned, they actually have things on sale. This is a military that if they have excess items or if they think they can trade up, part of the arsenal has a flow of trade with it. And this storefront includes a aide-de-camp that both manages the flow of goods as a merchant and also the ledger of items. He's a kind of quartermaster as well. So he seems very busy and distracted, but he says, "How may I help you?" I'll roll your 2d6. What's your charisma score?
Low. Sort of presented a problem last time. 6.
6. Very well. Yes, he says, how may I help you?
We were looking maybe for some information before going out and bringing the fight to the enemies of Eric Brania themselves.
Oh, yes. So you, the council, then must you are on their hire. That would be a lie,
I mean,
but I don't know about your alignment, but you can lie.
we're not sort of directly on the hire, but we heard the summons, and we're not like receiving any sort of direct payment or anything like that. But we're all men of good standing who want to fight for those who can't fight for themselves. You know, those who need protecting.
All right, roll a d3.
On it. Now, how do I do that?
You would have to do it manually, so type /roll 1d3 because there's not a d3 in the base dice roller.
Thank you.
Or no, you could just roll d6 and take half the value.
Yeah.
One. Roll a d12.
That one I know how to do.
3.
It's really a miracle Finbar survived up to this point.
To try to make sure I get a map here to make sure I know comparison. Ah. He looks at you, and you can already tell you're not going to get great information. And he decides to just have a entertain himself with the time. Try to scare you. Probably is not going to be able to, given what you've been through. But you know he doesn't know, right? So he leans in. He says, so you're a foreigner. Come here and thought you would get some coin from our fair city because our military couldn't do the job.
I would say by dint of the fact that the city's still standing, you guys are doing standing.
Haha. Well said. It's true. This rabble that has bothered sheep herders and such, this is just a political mechanism used by the patricians so that they can gain votes and the voice of the public. It's just all a distraction from the true enemy.
Who would be the true enemy?
𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖊𝖗. You know.
I'm not.
Oh, go ahead.
Not local, but I was just gonna say I'm not local. I didn't know there was conflict. I didn't know there was negative feelings.
It won't be long until this island is bathed in blood, and they will see who are the true servants of the city.
Surely good men like yourself will prevent that.
You've gained his attention enough to where he says, you know, the ancient conflicts of the rulers of these islands, they still persist. What are called the Arcsign. And this war on this island, it is coming. There are far worse things on the islands And you know that this is a smaller island, out of character. You know this is, 𝕬𝖋𝖍𝖗𝖐𝖊𝖗 is like this one coastal island. And its main features, it's kind of like the first port of call when you come into Lioness. But it's one island, and then it's surrounded by a bigger island in kind of like a crescent shape. It's like, I don't know what that's called, but like a little island surrounded by a bigger island. And then you have these like big, like Britain, Ireland size islands that are out away from that. And the very first one, he says, the greater land of 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖗𝖗, where the three cities, Port Perdal and such, the 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖗𝖄 Mountains. There are things that stir there in those mountains. There is no army on these islands, no navy on the seas that could put an end to the White King. Fever.
What do you think?
Oh, go ahead.
What do you think we should do?
I think nothing could be done until the black armies of the far north come marching through here, and then even that won't matter.
Troubling, but I choose to rage against the dying of the light.
As you should. And he whispers that you know, the next time you come by, if you need weapons or arms, that you might get a discount.
Thank you. We'll make sure to put it to good use. Because it's like a...
What about Withermond? Withermond. And including the same places. You could just talk to more people in the same districts. Takes, you know, about an hour of time. Oh, go ahead.
We're hearing troubles on the waters too, right? And when we were in the vault and listening through that door where the guy's head got smashed, somebody heard water. Was that like lapping water, like a seashore kind of a thing? Like this would have been a cove or something like that, or was it more like a river?
Yeah, it was very obvious to you that you were on the eastern coast of the island. Or, I'm sorry, the western coast of the island. And that after you entered the vaults, you basically found a secret passage, actually, that seemed to cut all the way to the far western end of the complex, the labyrinth, and you heard the seacoast.
Okay. So... I don't know, I think maybe the local fishermen might have some ideas of what that coast looks like. Maybe head over to the docks, to the waterfront area, to maybe talk to a fisherman or a merchant ship. Maybe the bosun or an XO on a merchant ship, not necessarily the captain, but a navigator.
Okay. Yeah, you go up to the ships and the boats and stuff, and you find a dock master. Keeps the list of all the ships that come and go. 𝕬𝖃𝖍𝖗𝖗. In fact, you probably already had to speak with him, because your ship came in here. And you were one of the passengers, and they kept your names and information and comings and goings and stuff. The dockmaster sees you again and says, fruitless journey, eh? Already on your way out?
Oh, not by a long shot. We're here. We're here for the long term.
Oh, I see.
Council has enlisted help to help with what we've been told is the orc problem, but we've also heard that there's troubles on the waters, and that there might be a place where they're hiding out, some secret cove or something, potentially. Looking for somebody who might have good knowledge of the coast on the western coast of 𝕬𝖃𝖍𝖗𝖗𝖃.
I see. Well, I have to say we don't have many people that sail that way, because there's a certain little island out that way, on the larger island that people aren't too much of a fan of around here. I rolled your reaction roll. What is your charisma score?
6.
A 6. Okay. All right. Roll a d3 as well.
Okay.
7. Okay.
I'll roll a d6 and divide it by 3.
Okay. So you got a
So
3.
it's a 3.
And then roll a d12.
Hey.
All right. Hopefully that bodes well.
Okay. He says, you're not going to find any of our fishing boat captains or keelboat captains or anybody that can navigate the Isles that would lead you off to the western coast. Nope. And one of the great weaknesses of the island is we don't have a good navy. Why, if trade didn't come through here, I imagine they would already have attacked the city and taken the island. Knowing the patricians, they're probably backstabbing and sending assassins and everything. You know, you're not from the island. Have you heard about the pirates?
We've heard of trouble on the waters, but not anything specific.
Well,
about, pirates. Would that be the seas, the coast that the pirates patrol?
If there's one
Or
thing
hide out?
that these rich patricians hate more than each other, more than all the ancient grudges that have been around here for 500 years now, more than this city hates 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖊𝖗 and back and forth, it's how much they all hate the pirates all together. Because every one of these islands depends on trade with Albion and Iran and Franc, and the pirates don't care. That's the thing. They have no power over them. And you can see almost like a little bit of an admiration, like a glint in his eyes, like a bit of, and he says, in fact, well, I heard that old young Osmondo Rosario, one of the sons of the elder patricians of the city, I'd heard that, he fell in love with some dame, and, was making his way off. He was going to get out of, he was going to get out of the city and everything. And, wouldn't you know it? They say it was actually Captain 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖗 herself. Oh, the legend. The pirate queen herself. That it was all an elaborate scheme to get all of the jewels. I'd like to believe it's true. Don't tell anyone I said that. I've also heard that Osmondo faces exile anyways, and will probably die in exile. I think he's a desperate man. If somebody needed somebody from a patrician, it would probably be... He'd be the easiest way into the council at this point, before he gets thrown out onto a sandy beach somewhere to die.
And where might we find Osmondo?
Oh, I suppose that he would be near the palace of the Podesta's palace. It would be in one of those estates there, probably the Osmondo estate. I'm sorry, the Rosario estate.
Over what does he face exile? What does his family believe he's done wrong?
All of this is rumor, and Again, don't say that I said
Other
it.
than running off with the pirate queen.
Well, and running off with all of the family's prized jewels and
the pirate
heirlooms.
jewels.
The loss of the family's fortunes. That's the reason he faces exile. Never mind his disobedience.
So there might yet be a real pirate treasure out there to be found.
Well, if you believe the stories. Yeah, so you all spend some time with the dockmaster again before he returns back to work, and before evening falls. Benton, is there anywhere that you would like to go? Ask around, rumors, gain information.
I think I'm gonna start by I wanna see if I can hire someone, a couple of people to carry torches and carry some other stuff.
Very well. Let's see here.
Preferably somebody who didn't know who we hired last time. Or that we hired anybody, maybe.
Yeah, that is certainly probably a goal to do. You see that there are cell swordsmen about the city, both at the arsenal, in the plaza. There are groups of them. There are many of them in inns, and at the seven-headed cat. Yeah, the tavern. So you sort of can kind of pick what you're looking for. So you could just look for torchbearers. Torchbearers will, flee at the first sight of danger, and they can only carry stuff, and they're probably not going to fight, or at least not very well. Or you can hire light, cell swordsmen, more scruffy type people, or you can hire heavily armed and well-equipped knights that sell their plate armor and shield and expertise, all the way up to being mounted riders that you could hire. What sorts would you be looking for?
I'm looking for 2 torchbearers.
Very well. You have a 100% chance of finding torchbearers in the city. You find 2 of them precisely, and I'm going to give you some information on them. Because they're torchbearers, they're going to have, let me make sure I have this right, a different hit dice. So the first one has 1 hit point, and the second one has 5 hit points. And they can carry stuff, and I'll give you their names, and I'm going to give you their morale. You
Gotta
can
know what to write on the tombstones.
Yeah. The first one's name is 𝕬𝖋𝖍𝖗𝖗, and the second one's name is ambience, and they don't know how to spell their names, so you don't have to worry about it either.
All right.
And they are desperate. They probably look like this guy here, and yet they're probably 23 years old, and they would do anything for money, basically. Let's see. What is your charisma score? Oh, you're muted.
Oh, sorry. Charisma is 8.
8? Okay. Their morale value is 5.
Okay.
Wait, no, I'm sorry. It's 6. It's 6. Sorry.
6.
And then lastly, this costs 2 gold pieces.
Each?
Total.
2 gold pieces.
Yep.
All right, got it.
All right.
Yeah, I'll pay him up.
All right. They are very sycophantic. Anybody else want to hire anybody? There are only 4 of you this session. Although you will share your XP, not necessarily, you won't share your gold, but you'll share your XP with whoever you hire. So that is a thing. No. Okay.
I don't have more money, but if anyone wants to,
No, it's fine. Just checking. Yeah, I'll in that case hand it back over to Roland. Roland, is there anything else preparations that you all would like to make the night before your expedition?
So, if no one else can really think of anything, I think the last thing is after we gather all information, the next plan was to, following the next morning, go directly to the vault. And we do have some more possible information where we can get more treasure and possibly like a place to sell stuff to at the very least. So, does anyone else have anything else they want to do, or like anything else they want to prepare for?
Do we have a 10-foot pole? That came in very handy last time. If not, I'll buy a 10-foot pole.
Okay, yeah, you easily find a 10-foot pole. It is at the price listed in the book.
So yeah, still got a lot of my stuff in my equipment, so yeah, it should be good that front.
All right. The night passes and the morning comes and you set out on your expedition. And alas, the skies are still rent with thunder on the morning of the first day of Samrad of Adventuretide. And it's a clear sky nonetheless, but very high howling winds. Let me get rid of that. And you can see out in front of you a forest. And you see at the edge of the forest a break in it, in a mossy, spiderweb covered, hoary, overgrown section of it, in a dark alcove, something glittering. There is what looks like actually you can see it from here, a kind of swampy area, a bog off to the southeast. And there are also, along the road, you can see where it splits and goes east and west. And along the sides of the road, there are sheep herders. It's clear that they have hired mercenaries that actually guard them among low little hills and reeks. And you think you see a lone man traveling on the road toward 𝕬𝖃𝖋𝖍𝖈 from where you are. And you can just see the beginnings of ruins off in the distance to the southwest. Roland, where do you go?
I think stick to the plan last time, head back to the vault, which I believe was like closer towards the west coast, so like towards the direction of the ruins, I think.
Okay. This can be accomplished if you are marching at a regular pace with no interruption in about 2 watches, about 1.5 watches. So you make it this far. And apart from the ominous thunder as you begin to pass the ruins, the stone ruins that are overgrown with ivy and moss to your left and right, and the skies being broken with thunder and lightning and darkness, nothing seems to happen. And you make it back to the entrance to the vault. And from here, I should note, there are 2 major hills, almost bordering, they're probably several hundred feet high, almost bordering on mountains. One of which The top of the hill is just broken by some ruined structure. You were on the hillside when your fateful events happened last time. And some other stone structures that seem a bit higher and made of raw stone at the top of the other one. There is also a forest to the southeast and a much larger mountain, which you could have seen back in Eric Brania, I should have mentioned. And then another marshland here to the southwest. That's what you can see from where you are.
Sorry, real quick. Are there any visible structures in the marshland?
In the marshland, no.
Okay.
From where you are.
Alright, so if there's nothing else, let's just head back inside the vaults. Before we actually enter back in there, want to make sure, like, if it seems like it's been disturbed since last time right there, see, like, it looks like there's been more tracks there, if it looks like more people have been in there or not.
Great question. I'm going to put you on the map, and then I will answer that. As that answer, or that question has an answer to it quite apparent to you. Come on, Foundry. Hold on, I have to reload it. I'm going to keep your tokens tight together, and just like last time, I'll move them as a group until we need to split them up for some reason. You can still hear the lightning and see it in the sky behind you as this 25-foot tall, kind of almost bunker-like vault structure looms ahead of you with rocks to either side, and then these two large stone double doors, which are open. And when you left, they were closed.
Alright. Alright, so let's see if we can proceed with caution. So, anyone have like a designated marching order, or is like the order we're in with their avatars pretty good?
I assume the avatar order, we've got our two fighting men up in front.
Right.
All right. So you go inside. It's going to get kind of tight here. And you can see where the passage goes off to the left and to the right. I'm going to kind of make you even closer than this. That way you can actually see, hopefully. Has anybody got a lantern, or are you using a torch?
I have a lantern and torches, but I need both my hands.
I'll tell one of my hirelings to light a torch. I carry 8 of them.
Very well. Is that okay, Roland?
Yep.
Okay. To your left, you can see that there is a closed door. Let me make sure that I don't have this wrong. Yes. Whoops. Yes. Closed door right here. And to your right, you can see a hallway going off into the darkness. And you can hear the trickling of water. The thunder and wind stop as you enter. And ahead of you, here, you can see an enormous, heavily ornamented face with a gilded lock mechanism on it, but with the walls flush. It looks like a false door straight ahead of you.
So right now we're standing on where the pit was last time. So we should probably get off of that. We did.
We should not stand on the pit.
Yeah, and last time it was a bunch of I don't know, like fountains or fonts in a hallway down on the right, and then one of them had.
And then past that, there was like a mucus gob of branches that are people, or people that are branches. The only way we didn't go was to the door here.
Right, and
to the left.
we fiddled with that 10-foot pole to mess with something, and it opened up a passage in front of us, ahead of us too.
Yeah, it was the
Um,
face, and I was thinking
yeah.
before we do anything, like, let's see if we can open up the pit and see if anything else has dropped in there or not, and just double check on it, make sure the trash can is empty.
Check the trap. Yeah.
Okay. How do you do that?
Obviously, we don't do it standing on the pit, so I think it's the easiest way probably just like back up and use the 10-foot pole to like mess with the mechanism.
Okay. Okay. So, I'm sorry, you said you back up, and then what do you do?
Basically, use the 10-foot pole, like same thing we did last time. Basically, trigger the pit trap, make sure like it's still empty down in there, or if there's something else that's fallen in there.
What did you do last time?
We used the 10-foot pole to basically go ahead and mess around with the. Oh, I think it was like we messed around with the. I forget specifically, but I think it was like the mechanism on the door itself, or was it like through the something on the floor and it resets itself automatically? Because I think we used the 10th pole to like to check the space around it, and we found the door, which was a false door, and we found like the pit down there. But I forget like if it was the door, like that was part of the trap or anything, or whether or not it was separate from each other.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, the same thing that opens the door opens the pit, which is that locking mechanism on the face. I think the this is me trying to get in the crate of the trap. You walk up and you fiddle with the locking mechanism, and the trap opens. But if you do it from 10 feet away with a sick dowel, then you don't die horribly.
Okay, Roland, what do you think?
Yeah, so I'll do the same thing we tried to do last time, which is try to use the 10-foot pole to like fiddle with the face of the wall and activate the locking mechanism by just seeing if you could wiggle around the stick to push in the locking mechanism.
Okay, you take the 10-foot pole and you put it onto the locking mechanism on the face?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Finbar is right. And the door slides open and the pit opens, and you can see that there's this burbling, like, glob of mucousy snot stuff that starts crawling its way as best it can to try to get up out of the pit towards you. And you see a utterly decomposed skeleton and only tatters of clothes absorbed into the muck.
Wait, so the slime we disposed of last time has reconstituted in some way?
It seems to have, yeah.
Oh, gross.
Let's leave it there.
Yeah, let's. Unless we have to use the secret path, let's just agree, just never open this pit up again.
And there might be more people we want to drop in with Mr. Slime, but until then, let's...
Okay.
Alright. Where do you think we should go from now? Or go now, Roland?
I think there was like discussion, like people wanted to go to the right and go to the hall with like the trickling stuff, and like I think there was like idols there or something last time. Personally speaking, I don't want to go back in there, but if people want to go in there and try to get some stuff, like, hey, that's the group's decision, so I'll go with them.
Okay.
Yeah, last time we chose not to take the brass bowls, the vessels that were set up on the fountains of various ill repute. But I'd also be okay not going that way.
You see a series of niches in the walls where there's fountains and various vases, and it goes off into the darkness. You hear trickling of water. What do you do next?
Oh, by the way, Ross, I can't see anything. I clicked F5. It's all black.
Roger that. I'll let me take a look at it. Can you see now?
Yes, I can see now.
Excellent. Okay, Roland, what do we do next?
I would say if anybody does want like the brass bowls, and I think if I remember correctly, I think there were like idols here last time, or I might have been mishearing about that. But my suggestion is if any of us do want anything from the crevices, like the stuff, I would suggest like I do have a 50-foot rope. I would suggest like why don't I just use the rope and lasso them instead of using the 10-foot pole, because I think either way it's the same distance either way. I just like the rope because it gives a little bit more like, yeah, without having to visit like with the stick. I just feel better with the rope trying to rope
Sure.
it in essentially.
I was gonna say, I tell you what, how about I just grab one, and if something bad happens, then we go to rope playing.
If you feel up to it, go ahead, man.
I'm ready. I got the glint of gold in my eye. We barely broke even last time.
So Finbar, these two niches you can see. The first one, there is a clear running water coming from a crumbling statue of a unicorn. And the second one has two men arguing with each other in stone. Water flows from decapitated neck stumps. The water is sparkling.
Is it still stinky in here? It was stinky last time.
Yeah, I'm sorry. To describe this area here, you hear the trickling of water. You can see there's niches on the walls. Your light goes on up to the edge, but good point. This room is also billowing with steam clouds, and the whole place has a sulfurous smell. And you can see that in the niches that the water drains into the floor. There's drains. There are old bronze drinking vessels scattered about in the niches.
I would like to grab the closest bronze drinking vessel.
Okay, the ones that you find right here?
Yep.
All right. Good news and bad news. So you think that this would be worth at least several gold. Now, this guy who was like, hey, if you bring me the original stuff, I'll pay you for it. Maybe it'd be worth a lot more to him, but it weighs 5 pounds. So, and let me make sure I got this right. Yeah, there's one there that's 5 pounds. There's also one in here.
Okay, well I'll give the one that I grabbed to one of the torchbearers and go grab the other one.
Okay. Make a save.
On it. It's above my saving throw. Or I have to roll above or below my saving throw.
Above.
I did not make it.
At or above.
Oh. Yeah, I did not make it.
Okay. Okay, yeah, so what happens is you get the vase from the first one, hand it off, no problem. Go to reach for the second one, there's this, these fountains of water splashing and stuff, and you reach for it, and you get splashed with this water. And suddenly, you realize that 𝕬𝖃𝖊𝖗, you're pretty sure he thinks he's better than you. You're pretty sure. And, you're getting kind of tired of it. It's just... In fact, this whole group kind of doesn't get the fact that, you're the one that went into 𝕬𝖃𝖃. It's kind of a big deal. This is nothing compared to 𝕬𝖃𝖃. And anyways, yeah. And also the hirelings, what's up with these two? They shouldn't even be here right now. They're probably not going to make it out. But anyways, this, and then something else happens I'm not going to tell you. But that's kind of, these thoughts maybe, they start forming in your mind, kind of.
I'm going to keep this bronze vessel on me, then, in that case.
Alrighty. 5 pounds. Were you close to the 100-pound mark?
75 to 80.
80, no problem. Okay. All right, what next? I'll toss the ball back to, or do you want to grab another one?
What's the next statue?
Okay, yeah, the next statue is a hunting dog that is trying to escape a net that it's caught in, and the water has a red ferrous look to it.
Good. They can do it themselves if they're so cool.
Honestly, I'm good with what we got, so I'm perfectly happy with this.
All right.
Does anyone else want anything else?
Yeah, anybody else?
I'm
Yeah, what we got.
Okay.
Other than the tasty water, everything else was was unenjoyable.
All right, Roland, where to next?
Unless I heard there was like some discussion of possibly destroying the tree monster there, which I'm not exactly opposed to, but I also don't want to mess with it. Something else I wanted to do was I wanted to at least see what was further down the door to the left and like at least get like another exit open, because I don't want to just be the secret door our only like way of entering and exiting the dungeon. I want to see like if there's any other entrance we can explore, like other passageway, just in case we need to backtrack or anything like that.
Okay. You get to the door. The door is stone with a big, heavy bevel on it that you would take and pull on. What do you do? So you're okay. Yeah, I'll. You may already know this, but I'll say there's a series of dungeoneering skills. The thing is that they're very much you have to use them judiciously because they take 10 minutes usually. You can search a full area for secret doors. It takes 10 minutes. Regular characters have a 2 in 6 chance of finding secret doors. The other thing is that if someone's doing a dungeoneering check, I allow all the other characters to do a different dungeoneering check, but only one person can do a dungeoneering check per turn. You can listen at a door, which I take to be like a seal halt, like where you're straight up, like, you know, really trying to, and I give you good info if you get it, but you have a 1 in 6 chance of knowing what's on the other side. You can try to open a stuck door, which you'll find out if it's stuck if you push on it. And you have a 2 in 6 chance to automatically spring traps and pits. But you can, I allow normal characters to attempt to search for traps and pits, although I will usually also give you some kind of thread to pull on. So anyways, like for example, if you wanted to try to listen at the door, you could try to search it for traps. You could try to inspect it. And looking at it and inspecting it doesn't take extra time. But in this case, there's nothing else remarkable about this door, just to go ahead and answer that question.
Because my idea to try to see if we can open it, not sure if it's feasible or not, because my idea was to use my 50-foot rope to tie it to the bevel, and with the whole group tugging on it, just like back up and try to pull the door open, but I'm not sure if the rope will be able to like pull the weight of the door open, that's the thing, or if it's feasible.
Is your intention in doing that to be away from the door in case it were to spring anything?
Yes.
You can do that, and without any complication, it will just take time.
Alright, so does anyone have any other plan or anything, or want to go for that? Alright.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so you attach a rope to it, you get away from it, and then you pull on it, and it fairly easily opens. Now, by this time, the pit and the door behind you close shut. Yeah. And from where you are now, you can just see on the inside of this room. You can't see anything else, any details inside though, from where you are.
All right, let's see. I'll walk past the door and see if I can see anything further, and just just stop just right past it at that point, and just take in the surroundings.
Okay. You go in, maybe just one or two of you, whatever, marching order. You go inside, and it's a square room that's 30 by 30 feet. There is a door to the north and to the west. It looks like the north and west walls are barren, but the south wall has a series of murals and carvings that are unfinished. The center of the room, the room has an arched ceiling to it, and the walls on the southern portion are in marble bas reliefs, which are unfinished. The center of the room has a rectangular pointed obelisk, and it's got symbols carved into its sides.
Alright, so what's everyone thinking? The front door or the door further left?
What symbols are on the obelisk?
And actually, I should note that you notice that there are it says the symbols are on the obelisk, but what it is there are symbols on the floor, and this obelisk has like this circular thing around it, and there's 4 symbols. Right here is the symbol of an arm. Right here is the symbol of an eye, and here is the symbol of a dagger, and here a key.
I'm sorry, the dagger was where?
To the south.
South. I'm just writing stuff.
That's just for clarification. I think that's actually north.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, south is up. That's right.
But just so you know, I'm going to use just to tell me if this is more confusing. Then I won't do it. But for the sake of this dungeon, I'll use what I call relative cardinal directions.
Okay.
So you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. That way, I don't know, because
I just wanted to be clear in case it was
you're
actually
correct.
relevant.
Yeah.
If it's not, then great.
No, that is a good point. Yeah. All
So
right.
can we see
The
if
symbols are on the floor.
Yes, on the circle, the stone circle that is
So it's like on a little-
around
it's on a
the
dais or something.
yeah, on the bottom of the obelisk. What were you gonna say, Roland?
I was asking to see if we could check to see if the statue was able to be turned or not, if we're able to shift the statue any, or it looks like it.
Do you try to turn it?
That's probably a dumb idea, but you know what? Sure, why not? Let's won't turn like a full turn. I'll just check to see like if it can be turned at all.
Which direction do you turn it?
Which direction is it facing right now?
It is. Well, you don't know because it's an obelisk, so it's just like this shape.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I mean, it doesn't have like a pointer on it or something.
So does the round thing on the is it attached to the round thing, or does it spin on top of the round thing?
You're not sure if it spins. The round thing is, yeah, the round thing is at the base, surrounding it.
Okay.
So
Are there any like scrapes or like dust or mold or mildew that's scraped off that would indicate that it has been turned at some point in the past?
there are scrapes. It indicates that it's turned in the past. You can actually see where it's been scuffed and dragged around in a counterclockwise direction.
So it looks like it does turn.
I was just checking to see like if it could be turned off. If there's any indication of that, but since we know it does turn, I think at this point it'd be kind of like stupid to try to see if we can turn it or not. That'd probably be a bad idea. So, unless anyone wants to try it, any other ideas for this room? as I'll take the risk, and like I said, it's probably a bad idea, but I'll try to see if I can turn the obelisk counterclockwise and see where that takes us.
Okay, it looks like it'll turn. You start to turn it, it turns. How far do you turn it?
I'll try to turn it until I hear there's like a click or something like in the thing where it sounds like anything's moving throughout the room or anything like that.
Sure. Okay. You turn it counterclockwise, and it turns, and then and it clicks into place, and it seems like it has turned about 90 degrees that way. Let's see. There is nothing. You hear like some echoing stone sliding noises in the walls. You feel some vibrations, but you're not sure what it means. This is the key in this direction.
So it does open something, but it's like for the rest of the dungeon. So in that case, I'm feeling the door on the west over here, see if that takes us anywhere.
Okay, got 2 votes. All right, so we're going to the door. Move over there. And what do you do at the door?
I feel like the room might be safe enough, I think, so I'll try to open it normally, and yeah, that'd be about it.
Okay. The door opens, and on the other side is a cavern, and you're met with the sounds of wind and thunder outside. You can see flashings from the entrance of a cave. I know you don't go in, but I'm just making it to where you all can see. On the inside, you can see ancient tiered fountains carved in, from the marble of the surrounding cavern wall. They look like the fountains are fed by tragic-looking stone faces that are frowning. There's silt and debris and weeds among the fountains. One has a half-buried mace that's slightly ornate. That's jammed within it. And here at this door above it, you can see a plaque in bronze that reads, "No entry."
Well, it's a good thing we exited from there then. The fountains, are they actually spewing water?
Yeah, well, I can't go back. Interested in that.
I think it's breaking up your audio. Is it just me? Can you guys hear?
No. Yeah, it's.
Is that Finbar?
Yeah.
Exit.
No. Okay. That was sounding better. I think maybe it may have been a glitch.
I permanently put sensitivity down.
It's lag. That's what it is. Yeah, I can see
Yeah.
it. Okay. No problem. Well, but what were you saying, Finbar? Sorry. Oh. Okay. I think you're muted now. For the... And while he's working on that, to answer the question, is there water in the fountain? No, these fountains are not operating. Just to make sure here. Yeah, that's right. All right.
And so the cavern, it just opens up to the, I'm assuming the west coast, so it's just open up to the sea or to a beach?
It looks like there is a rocky, swampy area here, and you can see the sea off this way. I believe. Wait, Let me make sure I have this right. No, that's not right. Let's see. It goes this way. It goes that way. No, no, no. This goes. This goes to some open plains.
Alright, so I want to see if we can go deeper into the cavern, but before that, does anyone want to take a crack at the mace, or does anyone wants to try to get that?
Can you hear me? I would like to take a crack at that mace. That's what I was trying to do.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you take a hold of the mace, and the handle breaks off very easily when you take it. Just easily breaks. Sure.
What is it embedded in? Is it dirt or stone, or what are we looking at here?
No, I'm wrong. I have this wrong. It is a ornate mace. This does not break.
So I can just grab it?
Yeah, there's something wrong with the audio. I don't know what it is, but it's like when the audio transmits.
It's probably my fault. Let me disconnect and reconnect. Give me a second.
I hear you. I hear you like that too, Russ.
Me as well.
Yeah.
Good to know. Okay, I'm going to leave and come back.
So can we all hear each other?
All
I
right.
can hear you.
Yeah, we'll do a combo check. You all let me know how I sound.
You sound fine to me.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll see how it goes, and then we'll get Finbar back in. I don't know if you can use a mobile device or something, Finbar, or different audio, like earbuds or something. Try to change the audio input-output, but... okay. So it sounds like we're exploring. And he's got a mace now that's ornate. Okay, so...
Deepest apologies.
whoops. Say again?
My deepest apologies. I'm back.
Ah, yes,
Okay.
that's a good plan. The mobile device. Yes, you sound very good. Okay, so and no problem. You know, the tech stuff. Shoot, man, it's the bane of this form of gameplay. So, anyways, you see here a T intersection going to the right as you start to approach it. Continues on ahead of you beyond the edge of your torchlight. You can see that this whole area is encased in a kind of wet, humid, perpetual fog that lay along the ground. And the natural walls are carved in places into the shape of toga-wearing human figures, each with its own unique likeness. Their eye sockets are black and hollow, and it looks as if they once held gemstones or something valuable, something that you could put into it, but they've all been emptied, and instead they just leer darkly. You can see that there's a crack in the wall along ahead of you, and that it has a wedged-in chisel still left into the wall. This door here reads "No entry" and a plaque above it. Roland, what do you all do?
I think it's safe to assume with the door that says no entry. Obviously, I think it's like an all-with leading exit from the room earlier. So probably have to do something with that to be able to open this door or have it unlocked or something. But I like to see if I could take another closer look at the crack with the chisel wedged into the wall, or see if what else like it might be in there or not.
Okay. You take a look. It's obvious that it doesn't go any further. It's not natural. It looks like this wall was never finished, and the chisel still remains freshly embedded into the stone.
Huh. Anybody want a chisel?
I have a crowbar. Not really a chisel.
Don't see any other points to leave it in or take it out, so I think at this point we'll just keep going forward.
Okay.
Just real quick before we do so, does this mace just function like a normal mace? It's just fancy.
Yeah, it looks like a fancy mace.
All right, cool.
But you've seen your way around. You take a look at the mace, and it's got like faux gemstones and silver threading and stuff in it. You think that the gemstone would probably sell for I'm gonna say a gemstone? A mace would sell. What is a mace, like 10 gold pieces or something?
Yeah.
This will sell for 10 times that. You think if you used it, it would probably break eventually, because it's not actually, it's like ceremonial.
Okay.
So, your torchlight, eventually you go ahead another 40 feet or so, and you can see at the edge of your torchlight the room beginning to open up, and you can see the humidity increases, and it just slightly declines into this room, and everything has this soapy, filmy feel to it here. It's just humid, okay? And you can see mist buffeting this room. Steam billows over the surfaces of things. And there are pillars in the room, actually, with pools of hot, fizzy bathing water. You can see 2 of them at the edge of your torchlight as you approach.
How fizzy are we talking? Like normal amount of fizzy or like extra fizzy?
Looks like a bathhouse.
Okay.
I'm just feeling paranoid about this. This kind of feels like a slip and slide where we just slip up somewhere to get dragged further in.
Does that mist obscure our vision at all, or is it just kind of like a light mist, steam kind of thing?
It's steamy. You think you could see through it. I just stopped you once you came to a new feature. But yeah.
I think we'll walk just up to the pillars and take a better look at the room, see what else we can find.
Sure enough. Carved pillars, Roman pillars, surround these stone pools carved from the stone floor. And they're full of bubbling hot water. Looks, when I say bubbling hot, I mean like a jacuzzi, like inviting. And the whole place is extremely humid and hot. And you can see the cavern continuing on to your northeast and straight ahead. And as you approach here, you hear noises and shuffling, and you hear rock, 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 and then like the shuffling of ring mail and chain and weapons and boot and heavy boots, and something starts to come towards you.
Was it the same language that we heard through the door last time?
Yes.
I think we should maybe back up.
Yeah, let's back up and see if we can remain out of sight from the approaching group.
Okay.
I mean, we've got a torch lit, so they'll probably see the light at some point if they go into that.
True.
Did we see any light coming from them?
No.
Okay. I'd rather fight in the light than in the dark.
You hear them getting closer, and it sounds like they're about to round the corner and come down the hall.
I'm thinking we head back to the obelisk room and see if we can go a different direction, or so let's just have to try to avoid an encounter for now. Let's just see if we can head back to the obelisk room and see if we can go from there.
Okay. Okay, you return to the room with the obelisk. What do you do now?
Just in case, I think I'll go ahead and turn it, and I'm probably wrong in this. I'm thinking it probably doesn't control the doors. I don't think it probably controls something else. I'll just turn it just in case, and I'll ask one of my other party members see if they'll go ahead and close the door just in case if they're still following us.
So let me parse that out. You want your party members to close this door, is that right?
Or yeah, someone to close the door, see if at least like if they're still following us or something. So while I turn the obelisk, so you see because like I said, I'm not sure if it actually locks the door or
Sure.
not, whether it does something else to the dungeon.
Yeah, sure. Which direction do you turn it?
Well, it worked for me last time. I'll keep trying to get counterclockwise.
Okay. So somebody comes up, closes the door. It closes without difficulty, and you turn it. And you turn it. You said in the same direction to the south, and it clicks 90 degrees later, and a wall opens to the south.
Oh.
And
Mm-hmm.
and then in this alcove in the wall, you can see that there is a large brazier with the face of a bearded deity, which I wish I'd put the art of. It's kind of cool. And below it are piles of coins, hundreds of silver pennies and gold pieces. 900 silver pennies and 300 gold pieces.
Benton is a cleric. Maybe he recognizes this figure.
Sure. Let's see here. This is, well, no, you're not. You would not, because you're from Albion. You'll have to gather that information in time. Yes.
How large is this brazier? Is it something we could carry out, or is it a big heavy thing?
It is a big heavy thing. Yes. Indeed. It is, I mean, it's probably hundreds of pounds, huge stone thing.
Oh, stone. Okay. I don't want to make too much noise with something possibly creeping down the hall after us, though.
But the coins are loose. There's 900 silver pennies and 300 gold pieces. That would be 120 pounds.
So, can we? I'll take a 10-foot pole and kind of poke around in there and poke up to the ceiling.
Sure.
Poke the sides just to see if the to
Yeah.
kind of test it out to see if there's anything that might anything
Sure.
that might drop down or
Yeah, you do that. You take a 10-foot pole, jab it around, jab the coins, the brazier, nothing happens.
Okay.
We could distribute that weight to our torch bearers or amongst us for the most part, I think.
Okay.
I believe with armor, I think your base movement rate is 90, and their base movement rate is 120, and distributing it equally between the two of them, you are now all at base movement rate 90, no problem.
Alright.
Okay.
I vote yay.
Alright, yeah, sounds like a plan.
Sweet.
Alrighty. Where do you go next?
Alright.
So now that was with the key. The key is pointing towards that alcove, right?
No. The key is toward this door that it was pointing at before.
Okay. So so the where the symbols are on the circular thing there, that doesn't move, just the obelisk moves.
That's correct.
Okay. All right.
So the key was to the west. I believe, if I remember correctly, I think it was the dagger to the south, or was it another symbol, or?
There's a dagger to the south, yep.
The dagger to the south, an arm to the north, and an eye to the east. And you've turned it 180 degrees counterclockwise. So what was facing the eye is now facing the key. Then the obelisk is bare. There's nothing on any of the faces of the obelisk. Is that correct?
That's right.
Okay.
We could explore further north, or we could go back in the secret passage and see if it's not still like guarded by the other party, which I think this might be a 50-50 chance they may or may not know about it or not. Once everyone votes, the north or the secret passage?
I would say north.
I would
North
say,
as
yeah,
well.
north.
Alright.
I'm just curious. What did you say, Nostromo? I didn't hear it.
North as well.
Okay. Alright. Okay. What do you do at the north door?
Do we want to spend the obelisk anymore, or do you want to just open the north door and see what's inside?
Well,
I'd say just
You
open
wanna-
it and see what's inside.
Yeah.
I don't know. Turning it seemed to open or release everything. So we
All right. Let's.
we turn it another 180 degrees, so it's back at I don't know. Well, that would be back at a starting point. That wasn't open.
So, who opens it?
So Roland will go ahead, take point on that, and open the door.
You open the door, and a corridor continues on to the edge of your torchlight. I will say that you can see that there is a door at the end, another stone door.
I'm kind of half on half on see if we can turn the obelisk now and see if that does anything with the stone door or not, or just heading down the stone door to see if it's able to be opened.
I
I
reckon
say-
if it's not able to be opened, we can go and do some
Yeah,
other
so I
stuff.
say let's just go further down to the stone door and see if it can be opened.
Okay. Who opens it?
You know what? Roland's go ahead and take that risk. He's like, I'm rolled lucky with my hit points, so I'll take the most damage if there needs to be.
Okay. Let's see here. You open the stone door. Your torchlight illuminates this room, and the smell of death just like wafts straight into your nose. You can see that there is a door here to your right front at the edge of the room. This room is 20 feet ahead of you, and then 40 feet left to right. There's an alcove on the southwestern edge of the room with another door. This room is covered in spider webs.
Whoa.
And it's clear that this room used to be a burial vault, and you can actually see in the alcoves there are skulls and piles of bones, and it looks like shattered sarcophagi or the remnants of what used to be part of a crypt. But in the center of the room, surrounded by spider webs, is a bloated and mangled body of a corpse that looks as if it was like grasping parts of its body, and pussy open wounds and gashes are all over it, and it looks like giant bite marks, 2 and 3 at a time, piercing into it. It looks swollen, as if something had caused it to inflate. Its eyes bugged out of its head.
So that thing's definitely filled with spiders, right?
That's what it seems to me.
Oh, and also there is a gleaming shield on its arm that the orc holds. It has some sort of, I don't know what to describe, a dazzly look, a dweomer.
Is the orc? Is it desiccated? Does it look like it's been there for a while, or is it they're fairly fresh?
Fairly fresh, in the order of like days or a week or so.
Oh, I just don't trust this room at all. I I vote we back out of here, go for the secret passage. I want to see if we can avoid this room.
Do you want to throw a flaming bottle of oil in there and light up the webs and then close the door and run like crazy?
Well, what do we think, guys?
I'm thinking at some point we gotta do something adventurous, right, fellas? I'm thinking I want to do something adventurous.
I agree with that, and
I-
honestly,
I'm a big shield guy. I would love that shield, man.
Okay, so of the votes, who wants to go into this room? So we have one from Finbar. Does anyone else want to see if they can go into the room?
Yeah, what do you think, Nostromo?
What'd you say, Nostromo?
Oh, sorry. I like the idea of doing something adventurous and.
Okay. All right. So, what do you propose? Do you all just go in, or like, do you have like a scheme or a plan, or what you want to try to like throwing flasks and snuffing the place out and causing a fire and closing the door and something like that? I mean, what do you all think?
Yeah, I like Witherman's idea of fire. It's a stone door, so likely that won't like light on fire, right? Surely.
Okay, so what a couple of people are gonna take oil flasks and toss them around, create a fire around the webs, and then close the door, and then go back down the hallway. Is that right?
Yeah, I have an oil lamp that I'm willing to sacrifice to this end.
Yeah, I've got oil to do that too.
Okay, so this will take 4 to get the whole room on fire thoroughly enough. So there's 2 oil lamps, and then somebody can subtract another couple. And you throw the oil lamps, and then you immediately hear screeching noises. And you, of course, close the door, and you go back out into the hall, and you hear screeching, and I'm going to make a save for these creatures.
Awesome.
Burn. Yes.
They both save. They make it to the door, which is not stuck, and they rip it off the handles, and it reveals these 2 giant spiders that are nearly the size of the door, though they can pull themselves in easily enough. Of course, I assume you put yourself in an advantageous position. You know, you can move yourself around however you want. You had the time to even get to the next door, so you have time to act. What would you like to do, seeing these things coming out of the doorway?
What's the second door made of?
Both of these doors are made of stone.
We back up into this room, we can spread out a little bit and then get them in a bottleneck coming through that door if they chase us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Okay. I'll put you all in your bottleneck. I think I understand what you're saying. That.
Yeah, Finbar's got a spear that he's probably going to want to be like poking out to maybe dissuade any charges of any sort.
Your clever plans so far have kept your torchbearers from losing their nerve and dropping the torch, making it go dark and fleeing. But they do stand in the back. This is not their thing. So you kind of create this ambush here all around, and then they enter. Let me check their movement. Movement rate 12. These things move at an unearthly speed. And you can just, at the edge of your torchlight, you can hear them in the darkness, still covered in oil, still burning, screeching angrily and skittering down the hall, on the ceiling and on the walls. And we are in combat procedure. Any spells? Nope. Okay, roll a d6 for initiative, Roland. Oh, I got a 5. They're able to act first. Let's see. That means they're able to move first. So they move, they make it to you all on their movement turn easily with 120 feet of movement. And then we do missile fire. Now here's the thing. I will allow missile fire, but if you miss, you may hit an ally. But otherwise they will get to attack first.
That was kind of the assumption with like close quarters that Roland would stick to his long sword.
Actually,
so I'm not going to do any.
And I think that bows cannot attack at 0 feet. I think you have to. I think it's like there's a minimum distance you have to have anyway.
Okay.
Without looking at it. Okay. Sounds. All right. So they're gonna attack random targets. They're just frenzied and out of their mind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's gonna go from right to left. I got 1. That is Roland, and the next one is going to be 3, which is Thadian. Wait, Thadian's not with us.
Yeah, I don't think Thadian's here.
3 is Benton. God, Nostromo. Oh no.
Oh.
Oh, no, you can't die again. It's terrible. Terrible luck.
Sure he can. Watch.
No. Let me see here. Skull crypts, giant spiders, save. Okay, here we go. This one's for Roland. An 18.
Yep, that hits.
19 is actually the hit. It is a D4 plus poison. You take 2 points of damage and roll to save versus death at +2.
I think as a fighter, I get +2 to that.
I think it's only for spells. So this is, yeah.
Spell.
Okay. So let me just double check my saving throw. I think it was at. Okay, it's at 14. Okay, here we go.
Nice.
Wow.
So you take 2 points of death, or 2 points of death. Yeah, two hit points of damage. But you're able to your heart's this thing sinks into your armor, and you just grit your teeth, and your eyes start to blur from this. You start punching it with your mailed fist to get it off of you, and it manages to back off. Blood, your blood, spurts from its fangs as it backs off of you after it digs its teeth into you. The next one is going to attack Benton. And
Damn it. Yeah, that hit.
all right, it's a 15. It does 1 point of damage and save versus poison at a +2. You had a +2 to this.
That would have automatically killed Barley. Nostromo's last character.
So you got to roll, I think, a 13. Or a 13 or a 12, one of the two.
Sorry, I was muted. I have a +2 against poison for being a cleric.
Nice.
So
So it's a +4 total.
let's see. Plus what? +4?
Yeah, total, because you also got a +2 according to the adventure. I don't know about
Okay.
these spiders, but...
All right, here we go.
No!
Nope.
Wait, +4. 13 doesn't meet your saving throw?
No, it's 15.
Oh, no. This thing digs its claws into Benton, and you see Benton just go into a seizure, and his mouth starts foaming up, and he collapses to his knees. This thing falls down with him as Benton goes to his knees and just keeps gnawing on him and eating him. That makes it your all's turn. It's melee.
Yeah, Finbar's going to attack with his fancy sword.
Okay, yeah, you have a fancy sword. I forgot about that. Yeah, and everybody can roll to hit. Your target is Ascending Armor class 13.
Okay. Let's see, so this is, Roland will go ahead and attack with his longsword. Nope.
And Withermund with his battle axe.
my goodness. No. Oh no. At this, the hirelings are going to do a morale check.
Yep.
Unsurprising.
They desperately fail, and I believe that's the only lit torch.
I know.
Yeah.
And you're cast into darkness. And they flee down the corridor in terror.
Surely the spiders aren't still on fire, are they?
They are on fire, but no, not like that. Yeah, no.
Okay.
No, but you can put them on fire if you want. Anyways, any other attacks? I feel like we're 1, 2, 3 attacks. We got 4 characters. I feel like we're missing an attack here.
Yeah, well, one of us died, so he probably.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I added Goose shouldn't be here. That's the problem. Goose should not be here. That's it. Okay, here we go. So, combat, top of the round. Roll a d6 for initiative, Roland. You need to get a 5. You got a 2. They're able to attack first. They hungrily attack Roland again. Okay, maybe Roland was right, guys.
Yeah, I'm
Maybe
ready
it
to
was-
admit that.
Okay, it misses Roland. The next one turns towards Finbar. Oh no, does a 17 hit?
It does, yeah.
Okay, you take 1 point of damage. Save versus death at +2.
Save versus death at +2.
Save versus poison. No!
Oh,
Finbar perishes. Oh my gosh.
I haven't had a successful roll yet this campaign.
It's
Fun fact.
It's been terrible.
I've not had
the
one
morale,
successful
the charisma
roll.
too. Like you keep. Oh no, it's been so bad. I feel so bad for
Nothing
Finbar.
I have done has been well. It doesn't matter anymore.
All right. Yeah. So that's their attacks, 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖗 and Roland. I will not say that lighting a torch. I don't know. I do kind of feel like it needs to be an action. Yeah, that needs to be an action. Unless you can do something, some other way of getting a light in here. Attacking in the dark is at -4 on top of that.
Oh yeah. So as long as one of us lights the torch, the other will, assuming we haven't died. So actually, considering the fact, yeah, you know what? I'll try bite one for the team. Personally, I want to just see if it's possible if you can go ahead and get a run from this. But since I think this is the melee round, I'll go ahead and waste my action. I'll go ahead and light a torch with my. I have my longsword in one hand and free hand, so yeah, I'll waste my action. 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖗, please tell me you can at least get him good.
You quickly light a torch, you light it up, and are holding the sword against this thing. It clearly turns towards you. You both are like fending off the dead bodies of your friends against these monsters. And you know, as the torchlight dances off the walls. And let's see, that was a second round. Yeah, so you guys, 𝕬𝖚𝖋𝖍𝖗 hasn't attacked, I think, right?
no, not in the second round.
Okay, yeah, you can roll the hit.
All right.
Oh my
Oh my
gosh. This is, you guys, your luck, man. I'm listening, guys. Your decisions haven't been that bad, but boy, I mean, you know, there's only so
Let's
much
do
bad
something
rolling.
adventurous. Let's set the room on fire.
I don't-
I wanted to go to the secret passage.
I wasn't expecting spiders to be able to rip a stone door off its hinges, to be fair.
Well, they're like the size of a horse, so I mean, I guess they could do that. Okay, roll for initiative.
Oh,
No.
come on.
Yeah, and beat a
What's
6,
happening?
please.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. Okay, they're gonna attack. Does a 14 hit Roland?
Yes, it does.
Oh my gosh. 2 save versus death.
Okay. Come on.
You might need to just run here soon.
That's I want to run. Never mind, I can't run anyways.
I meant Withermend. I don't know. Anyways, this one's going to attack Withermend. And misses. Mercifully. Okay.
Well, the man just run. Just get out of there, man.
Yeah. Well, if I can.
I will say that you
we're
can take
past the
one.
movement
You can
phase,
take
but-
one object from your teammates, and if you flee, one of them will get one attack as you leave melee. You will also need to do something because they are much faster than you. You'll have to like jam a door, which you can do. You know, something.
So I can take one object.
Yes, one object.
Can I take that fancy sword?
You could take the fancy sword.
Take the fancy sword and then pop out the way we came in, and try and close this door and spike it temporarily to get away.
Do you have spikes?
I do.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Let's see if this thing gets
I
you.
have 11 left.
It misses you. You're able to make it to the door, and you're able to spike the door shut.
All right.
That is the key. Is then this stone door starts to shake behind you, and you do not have a torch. It's also dark. So
I will light my lantern then, so I can see.
light the lantern. This all creates a bunch of noise. There's no encounter. You can see the hirelings are just screaming and leaving out the door off into the distance. They've just fled. And, well, everyone. Let's see here. That is effectively a TPK.
I make the argument as long as one of our party stands, it wasn't a TPK.
Not a TPK, dude.
Yeah,
I'm sorry to say. I know it might have been. No, it could have been. Didn't though.
It was awfully close.
Only one survivor makes it back to the. I keep forgetting the name of this place. The Plaza. Let's see. It's called the Seven-Headed Cat.
Seven.
Only one survivor
cat.
makes it back to the Seven-Headed Cat. What does the sword do, Finbar?
The only thing it does is it allows you to use your dex to hit instead of your strength to hit.
Oh wow!
And
Well,
it's
my dex is
a
8.
it's a 1d4, so it's also weaker than a normal short sword. So.
Okay.
Oh wait, well, actually, I think it also uses your dex to damage. Sorry, give me a second.
It's like a katana.
Yeah,
It
it's
has
just
no
like
business being around, or like a
It's like
rapier or something like that, which doesn't make any sense in this world, and yet here it is.
some form of exotic sword. Yeah, it's dex instead of strength.
And with that terrible, fateful expedition into the vaults of Valakarnas, we end the adventure for the night.